Okay, so you got yourself a new razor from Henson Shaving. What are you going to do now? Well, you can't just start shaving with it. It's not like a disposable. What I think you should do is clean it well first. So get yourself a glass, put some dish soap in it, put some of that dish soap on an old toothbrush, put that aside. Then fill the glass with warm water and just drop the razor in. Or maybe not drop, place it in nicely. Then acquaint yourself with the razor blades that came with it. Open the package nicely, not like I did, and take one wrapper out of the package and remove that razor from the wrapper. Grab it only by the short tabs. Then, after the razor's been soaking for a while, take it out, rinse it under some warm water, and then go ahead and disassemble it into 3 pieces. Grab your toothbrush and lightly brush each piece so that they are super clean. Then let the pieces drip or air dry, or you can blow out the hole in the handle where the threads are, and then put just a little bit of mineral oil there. You want some of it to go down the hole. That's going to lubricate the threads where the head of the razor goes back on. Now, rinse the blade under some hot water, being sure to grab it only by the short tabs on the ends. Then, place it on the top cap so the threaded post and the 2 rectangular aligning bits that are on the inside of the top cap go through the blade. That's going to keep the blade stationary. You really want that to be aligned just right. Then, put the base plate on. Make sure it's not upside down. You should see the silver ring around the threaded post. As you do the final tightening, make sure your fingers are on the narrow ends of the razor head, not where the blade is poking out a little. That would be a little painful if you tried to do the tightening with your fingers on the blade. Right? Now you're just going to get ready to shave. So rinse off your face, get some good moisturizing soap, wash it well to prepare your face and your whiskers for a good shave. Rinse off, and then we got to decide what kind of shaving cream or foam or whatever you're going to use. You can also do the hot towel thing right now if you want to, but if you just had a shower, you probably don't need to do it. I recommend you use what you've always been using. That way you'll be familiar with it, you'll know how it feels, and then you'll be able to tell how different this razor feels from what you were using before. In this case, I'm using a latherless cream. And then start shaving. But wait a second, maybe this is not the way you should shave from the beginning. Because this is the first time you're using a safety razor, I recommend you do more of a kind of a standard shave, like straight down your face, and do it in 3 passes, 2 or 3 passes. So first pass, straight down. Use the angle of the head to determine what angle you place the razor against your face. It's built in there for a reason. That's what one of the unique features of the Henson that makes it such a good razor for beginners and anybody who wants to have an easy shave. So for a lot of people, this going straight down your face, and your neck for that matter, is going to be pretty much with the grain of your whisker growth. For a lot of people, not everyone. But it's a good general starting point if you don't actually know what your whisker growth pattern is. That's something you should figure out at some point. But for right now, you could probably do this and you'll be okay. Now, do not press down on your face with this razor. Never apply any pressure. I say any pressure, but try very hard to minimize the amount of pressure you apply. Do not bear down. You might have had to do that with cartridge razors or disposables, Do not do that with this razor. Just enough pressure to keep it in contact with your skin. Not to depress your skin, not to try to push it in to get a closer shave. That is only going to end in sadness. No pressure. That's what should be going through your head. No pressure. You stick to that rule, and you'll be most of the way there to being a good safety razor shaver. Now, you should be rinsing the razor quite frequently. If the razor gets clogged, and it shouldn't, it has big lather escape vents on the bottom. But if you let those things get filled up or clogged, you'll notice that you start leaving a lot of lather or cream or whatever behind, and things are not cutting well. That's because you clogged the head. So rinse often. You have two sides to this razor. That's why it's called a double-edged. The blade is actually called a double-edged blade, right? So you have two sides of this. Once one side doesn't feel like it's, once one side feels like it could be clogged up, flip it around and use the other side. Now we're going to go into the second pass, and this is generally called across the grain. And since you may not know your exact beard growth pattern, just assume that you can go across your face. And I happen to be going from the outside in, because that's what's comfortable for me. You might want to do from the center out. Do whatever is most comfortable for you. If it's not feeling good, then switch directions. There are no hard rules to this part of your shave. It's your shave. Do what feels right. Do, however, be careful around details of your face, like the points of your lips, that little thingy under your nose. I have no idea what it's called, but apparently has a purpose. Go as slowly as you need to. Puff out your cheek. Use your tongue to push stuff out. Whatever you need to do. Now, this is your third pass, if you choose to do one. This would be called against the grain, which we're assuming for a lot of people is probably straight up your neck, straight up your face, that kind of thing, right? Again, you're eventually going to have to figure out what your actual beard growth pattern is, but this probably works okay for a lot of people. If at any point it feels like the cream on your face has dried or doesn't feel slick to you, add some water to it. Rub it in a bit more. Revive it. Now, when you're going around corners or curves of your face, like I'm doing here with my chin, well, look how much that angle of that razor handle was changing. Go back a few seconds and watch that again. You have to control this. The head is not going to pivot for you. And now you can take care of final details like, edge up your sideburns, that kind of thing. Just remember not to apply any pressure here, right? This is all about letting the blade and the razor do the work for you. Then rinse off and go, pat yourself dry and get yourself some kind of aftershave or post-shave product, whatever you want to use. I'm using Original Skin Bracer. I love the way this stuff smells. It feels good. Even though it's alcohol-based, it does seem to do a little bit of moisturizing, and it feels good going on. Give yourself a good slap if you need to, right? Now, I would take the razor apart, extract the blade, being very careful, right, to dump it out onto my hand like that, and grabbing the blade only by the short tab on the end, doing a final rinse, and laying it on a towel, folding that towel over, pressing it down to dry it well. I'll let it air dry a little bit more, then put it back in the wrapper, because this thing should be good for up to 5 shaves. So remember to like, share, and subscribe. And now here's the 5 rules of shaving. 1 blade. No pressure. Quality lather. Deft hand. Be smart. Thank you. Bye-bye.